Howdy folks, I'm Eric Williams and welcome to CapeCast, the official webcast of the Cape Cod Times. Why is this monument here in Provincetown? It's an exclamation point to remind you that the Pilgrims landed here first. And we're going to retrace their steps today, find some spots on the Outer Cape where they seem to have hung around, and see what's there now.
CapeCast.
Our good friend Laurel Guadazno at the Pilgrim Monument in Provincetown Museum has put together something handy called In the Path of the Pilgrims, a guide to where they went on the Outer Cape here. The Mayflower dropped anchor in Provincetown Harbor on November 11, 1620. During their 5 weeks on the Lower Cape, the Pilgrims made 3 exploring trips. Historians have been able to conjecture from their letters and journals the path the Pilgrims followed while they stayed on Cape Cod, and several of these spots are marked with memorial stones. That's what we were looking for. Somewhere right around here, the Pilgrims' big American adventure started. We're in the extreme west end of Provincetown, and apparently, in they came on the Mayflower. After a big, long, rough trip, and landed somewhere around here. I sense, yes, a helpful plaque over there in the park in the Rotary. Let's go find out what it says. Is this the Plymouth Rock of Provincetown? It says the first landing place of the Pilgrims, November 11th, 1620. I don't see any footprints. Oh, erected in 1917, but still, they came to Provincetown first. Did some laundry, went out into the woods and stuff and had some adventures. Like in Truro. Don't leave Provincetown without stopping by the bas-relief right downtown at the foot of Ryder Street directly across from Town Hall. This large sculpture depicts the signing of the Mayflower Compact in the cabin of the Mayflower. In the Cape Cod National Seashore's Pilgrim Heights area is a short half-mile trail called the Pilgrim Spring Trail, a great place to walk off Thanksgiving dinner. It leads to the spring where some historians believe the Pilgrims found their first drink of fresh water in New England. Imagine you're a pilgrim and you're thirsty. You need some fresh water badly. And you're traipsing around in the woods, wearing probably some cumbersome clothing, who knows? Carrying firearms, scared in this new place. And you're thirsty. Did I mention thirsty? Where's the spring? Water, water, water. A plaque? All right. About 10 o'clock, we came into a deep valley full of brushwood, gale, and long grass, through which we found little paths or tracks. And there we saw a deer, and found springs of fresh water, of which we were heartily glad, and sat us down and drunk our first New England water. Here's Pilgrim Pond. In what is now called Pilgrim Village on Pond Road off Route 6A in North Truro is a small pond where the Pilgrims sunk a kettle of corn they had taken from an Indian cache. There's a marker on the edge of the pond in a small park. 16 Pilgrims led by Miles Standish, William Bradford, Stephen Hopkins, and Edward Tilley encamped on the shore of this pond for their second night on American soil. Of course, they drank their first New England water 3 miles northeast, and found the precious Indian corn at Corn Hill. That's where we're headed next. Okay, let's pop on over to Corn Hill. A marker with a flagpole surrounded by a fence in the far corner of the beach parking lot at Corn Hill commemorates the Pilgrims' discovery of seed corn left by Native Americans. The Pilgrims took several bushels of this corn and were later chastised by the Indians for having taken the corn. A sign on Route 6 marks the turnoff for Corn Hill. We conclude our pilgrim journey in Eastham. First Encounter Beach, where the rubber hit the road and the natives and the Pilgrims got together for the first time. You can find it by taking that road that goes between the windmill and the Eastham Superette and just follow it straight all the way to First Encounter Beach. And there's a marker right near the parking lot. Pilgrim met native somewhere close by to here, First Encounter Beach here in Eastham. Momentous occasion. Maybe even chilly at the time.
CapeCast.